The university's golden age saw the presence of many renowned scholars. Aryabhatta, the famous mathematician and astronomer, Nagarjuna, a prominent philosopher, Atisa, a Buddhist teacher, Zhuangzang, a Chinese Buddhist monk and scholar, and Dharmapala, a Buddhist philosopher, were among the luminaries associated with Nalanda.
Bakhityar Khilji came in one university, the Nalanda University. He burnt, it's estimated that he burnt 9 million books. 500, 600 years ago, 9 million books. Nowhere on the planet there were 9 million books anywhere.
They burnt for 6 months.
That's what they say. Some people say it's 12 months, you're saying 6 months. They proudly claim he killed a minimum of 10,000 Hindus. And men were killed, women were forced to marry on the same day of their husband's death. If they did not agree, hot iron was put into their privates. Then they gave me the address and it's at Tughlaq Road. I said, I'm not coming. I said, you take a spray paint and paint that street board black, then I will come, otherwise I'm not coming to your house. Shamelessly you're living on that street, I will not walk into that street. Marx knew so much about economy, nothing about human nature. He knows a lot of economic numbers and how we can distribute wealth, do this, do that. But he knows nothing about human nature. He always thought America will be the first nation to become communist. Can you beat that? In America, the worst insult you can put on somebody is you're a communist means you're finished. That's how it is. It's happened to us also now. So, he completely underestimated the human nature and thinks just the facts of economics will work, which is very wrong, which is very superficial way of looking at human activity, human mind, human thought, human emotion, human consciousness. This is a very superficial way of looking at it. Wherever it got installed, massive human disasters happen. The kind of disaster that you can't imagine. To make Russia or that USSR what it was, to make it an industrial power, to make it a military power, they had to kill 20, 30 million people of their own nation, all right? Joseph Stalin went about killing nearly 26 million people, that's what they say. If not 26, whatever, even if it's 6 million people, it's too much. Of your own people, not in a war. To administer them, you start killing them. See, if these two groups fight a war, then some will die. That is the nature of war. But in administration, if I have to kill 26 million people, obviously I'm a lousy administrator. I know nothing about the people. I know nothing about the needs of the people. I know nothing about the aspirations of the people. I know nothing about how to do anything. Only then I'll have to kill 26 million people to administer my own people.
So is that Hindu awakening you seeing happening in the near future? How long do you think that will take?
I have no problem with the word Hindu, but because in the world's perception, there is a certain issue because people… It's like if you say yoga, people think you're tying up in knots. Whatever you try to tell them, it's union, it is this, it is that. Yoga, okay. You have to look like a leftover noodle. So, similarly, Hindu means Hinduism. Oh, you worship cow, snake. Worldwide it is spread because that's the kind of books that were written, everything done. So, instead of using the word Hindu, I would use the word Sanatan is better because Sanatan means eternal. Nothing can be eternal unless it's all-inclusive. Nothing in the universe can ever be considered eternal or near eternal, let's say, without it being all-inclusive. Unless it breeds the creation, it cannot be eternal. A philosophy cannot be eternal, a belief system cannot be eternal, an ideology cannot be eternal. Only that which is in tune with creation can be eternal as creation is, at least. So, when we say Sanatan, we are talking about an eternal dharma. Does not mean a religion. Unfortunately, this word has gotten around like this. Dharma does not mean religion, dharma means the law, an eternal law. How you arrive at eternal laws? By observation, not by imagination, not by dogma, but by observation and realization, you come to in alignment with creation. Only that can be Sanatan. So that is the essence of who we are. That's not been conveyed to most of the Hindu population, unfortunately. They think lot of Hindus talking about, we have our own book. We did not fall out of a book, you know. We made many books, thousands of them. Well, when Khilji guy, what's his name? Bakhityar Khilji came, in one university, the Nalanda university, he burnt… it's estimated that he burnt 9 million books 500, 600 years ago, 9 million books. Nowhere on the planet there were 9 million books anywhere.
They burnt for 6 months.
That's what they say. Some people say it's 12 months, you're saying 6 months. It doesn't matter. There was no petroleum, so it is possible it took 6 months or 12 months. More than that, they burnt over, they say 8 to 10,000 monks, because most of them could recite one book by themselves. So they thought books will live within you, so they burnt them also alive. So the incredible thing is, the modern day Bharat names that region as Bakhityarpur. So this is one thing we must do. Vikram, you must write a book on this. There are Aurangzeb streets, Aurangabads, there are over 60 Aurangabads. There is Bakhityarpur, there are Qutub Minar, a man who desecrated both Hindu and Jain temples and built a monument out of that. There is, of course, Tipu Sultan. Most terrible things were done. Over 400,000 Hindus were converted to Islam by force by Tipu Sultan just in the Malabar region. Men were slaughtered, they say, in a chronicle written by, approved by his own son. That means it's genuine. They proudly claim he killed a minimum of 10,000 Hindus. And men were killed, women were forced to marry on the same day of their husband's death. If they did not agree, hot iron was put into their privates. This is the way things were done. And I have nothing against Islamic rulers because that's our history. We allowed them to come and it happened. Kings who ruled benevolently, you want to put their name, is fine. But murderers, rapists, people who tried to commit genocide and desecrated hundreds of temples, their names should not be on our towns and streets. So recently somebody invited me to their house because of some pilots were meeting, you know. They said, Sadhguru, you must come, you're a licensed pilot, you must be there, they will allow it, just 10 minutes you come and go. I said, okay, give me the address, I will come. Then they gave me the address and it's at Tughlaq Road. I said, I'm not coming. So you must understand, not because he's Islamic king, because of what he's done. Even if a Hindu king or a Christian like Robert Clive Street means I won't go. I said, you take a spray paint and paint that street board black, then I will come, otherwise I'm not coming to your house. Shamelessly you're living on that street, I will not walk into that street. Because why don't we have Adolf Hitler Nagar? Why don't we do this? Why don't we have Idi Amin Nagar or Puram? Why don't we? We don't do that. People who displayed extraordinary sense of cruelty to other human beings, whoever they were, we don't eulogize them. But today in this country, there are hundreds of towns, villages and cities and streets named after these people. I'm sure you can recount better. I am not good at numbers, names and dates.
Sadhguru, in our state, Karnataka, there's also Tipu Jayanti. Forget towns, we are also celebrating his birth.
Tipu Jayanti, there was a Tipu Express. One of the worst tyrants.
Even converted dead Kurgis, not only those living,
Yes.
but even the corpses
The
were converted.
The Kurgs have taken, we think Kurgs took the worst of the brunt. That's not a fact. It felt that way because the Kurgs fought. In other places, there were no fighting men, they just took it without so much resistance, so it's not so well recorded. Kurgs really fought, but 70,000 Kurgis were killed. If you fight a battle and you get killed, considering those times, it was the order of the day, it's all right. It's all right if somebody comes and slaughters you in a battle. But it's not all right when you line up civilians and slaughter them and rape the women and slaughter the men, rape the women, slaughter the men. What is that? People who did that, their names should not be flying on towns and streets and circles, in our country, but unfortunately it is. I hope the future elected leaders of this nation have enough wisdom to change that.
Nalanda University is one of the world's oldest universities, was an ancient center of learning situated in present-day Bihar, India. It was established around the 5th century CE during the Gupta dynasty, likely by Kumaragupta I. The university quickly became a prominent center of learning, attracting scholars from all over Asia, including China, Korea, Japan, Tibet, Mongolia, Turkey, Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. The university's infrastructure was impressive, spanning an area of about 14 hectares. It featured temples, meditation halls, lecture halls, libraries and residential quarters. The library complex known as Dharmagnana was particularly remarkable, consisting of 3 multi-story buildings, Ratna Sangara, Ratnadhadi and Ratnaranjaka. These buildings housed an estimated 9 million manuscripts, making it one of the most extensive collections of knowledge in the ancient world. Nalanda's curriculum was diverse and comprehensive, covering a wide range of subjects. Students could study Buddhism, Vedic texts, philosophy, logic, theology, grammar, mathematics, medicine, astronomy and other sciences. The teaching method was highly interactive and rigorous, fostering a deep understanding of the subjects among students. The university's golden age saw the presence of many renowned scholars. Aryabhatta, the famous mathematician and astronomer, Nagarjuna, a prominent philosopher, Atisa, a Buddhist teacher, Zhuangzang, a Chinese Buddhist monk and scholar, and Dharmapala, a Buddhist philosopher, were among the luminaries associated with Nalanda. The university enjoyed the patronage of various Indian dynasties such as the Guptas, Harshavardhana and the Pala Empire, which provided financial and infrastructural support, facilitating its growth and prosperity. Nalanda's influence extended beyond India, becoming an international hub for Buddhist studies and playing a significant role in the spread of Buddhism across Asia. It attracted several notable foreign scholars, including the Chinese travelers Zhuangzang and Yijing, who documented their experiences and provided detailed accounts of the university's functioning, infrastructure and academic life. However, Nalanda began to decline in the 8th century due to political instability and the diminishing influence of Buddhism in India. Despite these challenges, the university continued to function until the 12th century. The final blow of Nalanda came in 1193 CE, where Bakhityar Khilji, a Turkish Muslim military general, attacked and destroyed the university. The libraries were set ablaze and it is said that the fire burned for months, leading to the loss of approximately 9 million manuscripts. This destruction resulted in a massive loss of knowledge and marked a significant decline in India's academic and cultural life. For centuries, the site of Nalanda University lay in ruins. It was only in the 19th and 20th centuries that archaeological excavations brought its history to light. These excavations revealed the grandeur and significance of Nalanda, underscoring its importance as a major center of learning in ancient India. In the modern era, the Indian government initiated a project to revive Nalanda University as a contemporary center of learning. This effort culminated in the establishment of new Nalanda University in Rajgir, Bihar, near the ancient site. The new university began its first academic session in 2014, symbolizing the revival of India's rich educational heritage. Nalanda University stands as a testament to India's historical contributions to global knowledge and culture. Its legacy continues to inspire and remind us of the profound impact of ancient Indian learning on the world. The story of Nalanda is not just about its tragic destruction, but also about the enduring spirit of knowledge and education that it represents.